Everyone, since it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I would like to tell you about the story who became a real president in the 20s. Well, Martin Luther King, at least, he is a president of the USA of America, and he does exist to talk and take care of the children, even going to school. And even Martin becomes a real king, and he is a wise governor man who isn't a president from the White House. And he declares the spirit of the game, who is responsible to everyone in the world. And Martin is a good president of the king of the house, and he is a stupendous president in the world, and he does nice things to every one of us who declares this fantasy and spirit and autism. And Martin Luther King declares the honor of the game of the White House, and Martin, who is responsible and nice to represent the whole entire town in the United States. Well, at least I do want to, and unfortunately, Martin goes to the White House, and Martin is in the spirit of his right to take care of the children, and he takes children to the shop. And Martin, who is expediently position-handed, and when Martin Luther King Jr. landed everyone in the world, he talks to the crowd, and when Martin does good things, he always wanted to be a president. And that's why Martin Luther King Jr. is a nice man who is exponentially nice to depend and demand to imagine of us in the entire world when the president welcomes to the United States to have a great pleasure of the U.S., and when they help Martin, everyone attends to have fun in the entire world. And when Martin Luther King becomes nice, he often is a treat to themselves, and when they got to the kids, he dropped the kids off to kindergarten. When Martin leaves, he goes to the office and goes shopping, and he takes care of the kids and treat them well. And even Martin Luther King becomes a baby in 1929. He is often a kid, and he's often little as you, Thomas. Gordon, he is accidentally nice and cute when Martin Luther King Jr. goes to school and to kindergarten, and he knows everything in the entire planet. And when Martin learns something nice, he be able to resist a treat in hand. But Martin was sure he is extremely excellent, nice, and organized, and he does nice things to us. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, little Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Thanks to you, Thomas. Well, if eventually a token of mine, Martin Luther King is a genius. Oh, I'll say He's a definitely nice man in the court who is in the White House, and everyone goes to the Martin Luther King Jr.'s house, and he often become a toddler. When Martin Luther King becomes a teenager, he goes to high school, and he becomes an adult to go to the office White House Academy and to college. He is known to be a real president in black and white old school. And when what Martin Luther King did? Well, he did nice things to vote to demand in this entire place in town and to honor everyone in the world. Martin is a nice genius president who is organized just like the mayor. Wow, Thomas, that was impressive. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, thank you. I unfortunately give you an opinion of the presidents over Martin Luther King Jr. What is it, Thomas? Maybe a bad president who is Adolf Hitler, and he does bad things, who lives in Germany, and he passed away in the 40s. Wow, nice story, Thomas. I'm impressed with you. And I improve you, everyone in the world, like Abraham Lincoln. No, Gordon. He's a president with black beard. Now we'll talk to Martin Luther King about it. He is an old man who walks into the White House, and then what happened, Thomas? He even becomes nice and calm and flexible. And what did he do, Thomas? Does he go and attend the stupendous house in the whole world? Maybe so. He lives in the U.S. state of it, and he's the biggest genius who is the biggest president in the time of the history. Gee, that's nice, Thomas. I'm very impressed, and thanks for telling me. I've often get you anything that you are thankful for Martin Luther King Jr. I'm thankful for being splendid, and I'm thankful to be being a big express pulling coaches. And I'm impressed of thankful to be organized to clean up. And I'm thankful to pull brake vans and trucks. And I'm thankful to have a wife, girlfriend, Henrietta, and my friend Mavis to enjoy the entire journey of this planet life. Wow, good story, everyone. Thanks for telling me. And nothing I can do without you. Well, I hope so, Thomas. Me either, little Thomas. And I heard you about feelings of the presidents of Martin Luther King. And then what happened, Thomas? Yeah, tell me about it. Well, at least Martin, at the end of the 1968, he passed away, and then Martin Luther King is a genius who takes care of the official president of the United States of America to attend the crowd and assure everyone in the old school world. However, Martin improves the world of the best genius who walks around, and he is being spiritful of the game of the entire president in the White House. We appreciate you, Thomas, and we appreciate you, little Thomas, and we appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, yeah, and we appreciate you, my best friend. Yeah, and we appreciate you too, Thomas. You're a really nice, cheeky engine, and you are a really useful engine in the whole world. And you are a clever engine of all. Well, I hope so. From wishes now come true, and with honor to talk about the thought of Martin Luther King. Yeah, that was the nicest thing of Martin, and that's the nice thing to say to us of the United States, and that's why we treat Martin for a treat, and then we wish Martin Luther King, who declares the crowd. So have a nice time, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, everyone. See you around.